I am Orland Park.
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 I am Orland Park. I've been a resident in Orland for about 18 years.
I've lived in Orland Park for 37 years.
We've been in Orland Park for 36, going on 37 years.
I've lived in Orland Park for a little over 16 years, and I've had my business in Orland Park for about 15 of those years.
I, of course, grew up here in Orland Park from the time I was born all the way until I was 28 years old. I lived here in Orland and moved out after I got married. And we just decided to come back because Orland is a good place to raise a family because of all that it offers, the residents as well as the people. The people themselves make Orland a fabulous place to live.
I lived in Orland Park, Illinois for 10 years now. I moved here Memorial Day weekend of 2003, and after having lived in Schaumburg for over 12 years.
Well, I had looked around at all the suburbs and I looked at Orland, and Orland was the up-and-coming new area to live and open a business. Everything was moving out here at the time. It's changed and changed and changed and grown, and I was glad that I chose this area because it has grown and I've grown with them.
For a place to live, we were looking for accessibility to expressways, good employment opportunities, good schools, a community that was growing. This was going to be my first house, not my family's home, so I was looking for something that would grow with me.
My husband and I were living at the time in Maryville, Indiana, and we had just been married, and we wanted to come back into Orland. He had worked in Oak Forest, looking to ultimately purchase a home. And so we knew Orland was a nice area, and we wanted to come back and start our life here.
I love Orland Park. I've been here since I was in 8th grade. Great community, a lot of community involvement, a lot of families that have stuck around.
It's a great area. It's close to where my parents live, and the community is fantastic to live in.
To live in a very nice community, be able to make good friends, and as well as us make good friends, and I think we've chosen well.
Living here as an adult, just the opportunities that are available here that you wouldn't find in many other communities.
We were looking for a home when our daughter turned 1, so we came to Orland Park because of the schools, and we've been happy with our decision.
You could start here as an infant, and even you could retire here. To raise your children in Orland Park, because you've got the best of both worlds. It's an urban, you have enough of an urban environment, but it's a real down-home community. It's a very good community to grow up in and to raise your kids, and most of us, that's what we're doing.
Orland Park is a fantastic place to raise a family from infant through the senior years. There's opportunities for every age group in Orland Park.
Well, I've raised my family in Orland Park, and I think that they love the experiences that they've been able to enjoy here, whether it be OYA sports or the pool, the schools, everything. I think it's one of the finest communities for raising a family.
You want the kids to always to develop and have values, and I think what happens is the Village of Orland Park helps instill the values that that the children, as they grow up, can take to college with them and take on in raising their children. And a lot of them will end up raising their children in Orland Park.
It's a fantastic place to raise children. There's good schools here. The places to shop, to go out to dinner. You don't really need to leave town for anything. There's forest preserves around us. There's bike trails in town. You can find anything that you need here.
I would consider Orland Park to be a great area to raise a family. There's tons of stuff for the kids to do. The schools in the area are fantastic, both the public, and there are lots of private options also if you want to go that route.
The parents them alone can't do it. They need to have a support group, so to speak. And Orland Park is one big support group. You have every opportunity to thrive in Orland Park.
I started out probably right out of college. I was involved in emergency services and disaster agencies, a volunteer. I became a police officer in the village. I've been involved with the Orland Park Lions Club for approximately 18 years, helping run Orland Days and the other Haunted Woods, the other activities that they have. I've been past president of the Lions Club, past secretary. I've been involved in scouting, both as an assistant Cub Master and an assistant Scout Master for Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts. I've coached baseball through OYA and been involved in a myriad of other activities over the years.
My involvement in the community goes back a while. I've been involved in youth sports about 7 years, either coaching or managing youth sports, and actually I believe it's 8 years, and 7 years in Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts. With Cub Scout Pack 383, I joined, and my son joined, and I joined as a leader, and the second year I took over as Cub Master, and I was held those positions, the then leader for 5 years, and Cub Master for 4 years. And when our boys moved up, we formed a new troop. We formed Troop 383, which was the second troop in Orland Park. And I remained on with the pack as a committee member to help the pack through the years to grow and continue to provide a quality program.
So I've kind of had to just build my base being out here for the last 10 years. And part of how you build a base, it was is you get started, of course, when your kids are young, you start signing them up for baseball, and then they ask you to coach, and you naturally, I thought I was just inclined to do it, and it was a lot of fun, and you're out there. So how I got involved in Orland, the Orland community, starting out with sports, was coaching, and you coach in different teams, and you get to know a lot of people in the community when you're around in Orland Park, and when you're involved in different parts, you do tend to run. It's a great community because you tend to run into people all the time that you've done some things with. If you're part of Orland Park, you're a family. It's a real community that sticks together.
It's a large town with a small town heart. Everyone knows everyone. Everyone's very gracious. It's a very welcoming community, from the mayor down to the postal carrier. I think it's just a beautiful place to live, and a very welcoming community. So I think everyone picks up on that. And so everyone shares in that, so we all seem to get along and everyone's happy.
The community is very friendly, lots of kids for my kids to play with, and a great area to live in.
Orland has a great sense of community. As I said, I grew up here in Orland, and of course when I was little, it was a very small town. We didn't have any streetlights. We only had stop signs. And so you definitely had a sense of community back then. It was very much a small town feeling. And the nice thing is after moving back here, and of course it being a much larger community now, I still get that same sense. I still have a good neighborhood where I know my neighbors, and they know me. They can watch out for my kids. I feel comfortable in my neighborhood.
There's a little more of a sense of community between, that I have here, that I see here and I experience in Orland Park versus Schaumburg. They didn't seem to have that same sense of community and purpose that Orland Park does in helping to raise the children of the community.
I think that Orland Park is it's a big community, but with a small town feeling. We've met friends that were our neighbors in our first home when our children were growing up that are still friends, and it's so nice to feel so comfortable when you go to the store. You see people you've known for 20, 30 years. You go to church, you see people from the programs that you participated in, and you just feel right at home in Orland Park.
The activities that the village offers for my family to participate in also help with that community feel, letting me get to know people even further outside of my neighborhood, and things like the tree lighting ceremony or the farmers market, Orland, Taste of Orland in the summertime, all the parks that they have for my kids to play at. It's great that we can go from park to park. We've done park crawls with other friends, and we just have a great opportunity here in Orland to get to know each other. Even though we are a larger community, we still have great opportunities to get to know everybody.
And so we have several great civic organizations, the Lions, the Kiwanis, the Rotary, Chamber of Commerce is very active in the village. There are a lot of, like I said, recurring annual events where people get involved. It seems like all these organizations work together when someone's in need. So if there's someone that's ill or that's having financial difficulty, we all kind of band together and we help them. And so that sense of community, even though it's a large village with 60,000 people or whatever it is, we still work as a small group when someone's in need or when someone needs that closeness, which works out real well.
I think it's a very close community. Businesses all help each other, I believe. And I think the village supports all of us very well.
The businesses that we work with, we partner with a lot of different businesses in the area. Whenever we ask them to help us or if they need help from us, there's always a mutual exchange and giving and taking there.
Well, it's extremely safe, and I say this partially as a former police officer in the village, but I just saw the mayor's announcement that violent crime is the lowest it's been in 20 years. If you look at the size of the village, I think when we moved here in '76, there were 16 or 18,000 people in the village. It's just grown, exponentially. Yet crime is going down. Violent crime is going down. So I could say from firsthand experience that it's a very safe village. We've got an excellent police force.
I feel very safe. In fact, I walk in the mornings before I come to work, and I never feel the least bit threatened by anything. It's dark at the times when I walk, and I walk through my neighborhood, and it's just a real nice, secure feeling that I can do this without feeling that my life's in danger.
The police and fire department are second to none. They're very, very strong leadership, and both departments work they protect the community, and they're very strong within the community and very visible within the community.
I think the safety in Orland Park is fantastic. I always see the police patrolling in the area. I see them driving up and down my block quite often, just making sure that the area is very safe to live in.
We've had no issues. One or two times we've had to call the police for various issues in our home. Right there, we see the police around frequently. I don't feel threatened at all or concerned. We inherited a dog this past fall, and I'm the one walking her at 6 in the morning, and had no questions about safety in our neighborhood.
I do feel very safe. I feel like it's a very safe community. I mean, if we've ever had any sort of a problem that has arisen in the past, they've been right there for us.
The crime rate is low. Most of the people watch out for each other in Orland Park.
Safety's never been an issue as far as I'm concerned. Living in Orland Park, that's one of the nice things about living here is it's never been a concern. It's a great community to live in because you feel so safe and secure at all times.
I think if you can't find what you'd like to buy or eat in this town, I can't imagine what else you might be looking for, because we really do have everything. We've got retail sites that offer you every price range imaginable. There's plenty of discount places if that's what you want to do, resale shops, etc. So no matter what level you're looking to shop retail, it's here. Restaurants, you've got casual dining to fine dining, so how can you not find a place to call home? What I think is also fun is the business owners of these restaurants and businesses take a personal approach to their customers. So it's kind of fun to walk into a restaurant where the people know you by name, remember what you ate the last time you were there, find your favorite place to sit, and then when you're there, you're seeing all the people from town too, so it's kind of like having dinner with a business and a family.
The way I explained it to some family and friends, if you can't find it here, you don't need it. You can find whatever you need. There's many stores that carry the same thing, so you can go from one store, or you can find it at another store. We have multiple places to buy electronics, clothes. You can go grocery shopping multiple places.
The shopping and the dining is very, very good. It's excellent. It keeps improving every year. This past year, we had Dave & Buster's come to town. We had Cheesecake Factory come to town. And you don't want to just talk about the national chains that are coming to town. There's a lot of good local restaurants that have opened up, and a lot of nice little stores and a lot of other big stores, and they just did a big $50 million renovation. Simon did to the mall, which helps really, puts it, it's kind of the crown jewel is the mall. It's a regional mall. So the availability of shopping and restaurants is second to none.
We've been very pleased. I think there's a nice mixture. I think particularly recently, coming out of the recession, there's a really nice mixture of small-owned businesses or locally owned businesses, which we really try to frequent. Being a small business owner, we really appreciate when families, shop local. In terms of the larger stores, recently again, there's been a really nice influx of businesses, both from clothing to shopping or clothing and grocery, to specialty shops. I mean, I don't really need to go out of Orland for anything.
I would say the quality of businesses in Orland Park are excellent. Everyone is very professional, very good to work with, and everyone treats you great. I would say there's a great selection of retail and restaurants within the area, and there's always new ones coming into the area too, which is always nice to see. It's a very thriving community.
Well, personally, I love to shop, so Orland Park is a good place for me. I think the dining is wonderful, whether you want fast food or fine dining. You can find just about anything here, and we have wonderful businesses that also support the community very well.
That over the last 10 or 15 years, the quality of both the restaurants and the shopping has gotten better and better. We see places just in the last year or so, the Cheesecake Factory coming, Whole Foods, and some of the stores that are opening up or upsizing, and that, from what I understand, doing very well. So there aren't so many places that you would want to shop at that aren't either in the village or awful close. And likewise for dining, we have just about every cuisine you can think of to eat. The restaurants seem to be getting better and better, stores are getting better and better, and I like the idea of the 9750 project and what that could bring as far as a pedestrian-friendly area to go shopping. So I think it's improving year after year.
It's a very positive business environment, and that goes back to bringing in the restaurants and the shopping. The village is very business friendly, so I think it'll keep improving, and it's only gotten, each year it has improved over the 10 years that I've been here. And so I find my experience as a businessman, I find my experience with the village be very strong, and I find that the local business environment is a positive one.
We are residential and commercial decorators, so we provide a full range of services for your home or your office. In addition to that, we provide services for your weddings or parties or special events that your home or business might host or hold.
I started out in August of 1986 in Orland and started out with a 1,000 square foot store, trying to see if this was my niche in life, and well, it was. Then I expanded, and I'm still here in Orland. My career kind of took a change. I went in from day wear, ready-to-wear clothing, into after 5, and that turned into prom, and that's what I've been doing mostly right now, Mother of the Bride and prom. And we do all of the fashion shows for all the schools in our area, and we're very busy with that. I believe it's a good area to open up. There's a lot of potential in this area. And the village is willing to help you with your business, which they have supported us all these years.
Well, my husband Rob and I own, as I said, Waymar Portraits here in Orland. Rob's background is in commercial photography, started in the city in Chicago with product work. When we moved into Orland, he continued to commute into the Chicago area, but as our oldest child was born, we decided we wanted to venture out into portrait work with families and children. When I met him, he was a photographer commercially, didn't photograph weddings or babies, but we changed that. So we've been open about 10 years working with our families and our children. We do weddings as well. We still have a very healthy commercial client base also. I think it's great. I mean, there really is, there's never enough business for anyone. But the community is such a diverse community. In terms of what we do, and being other photography businesses in the area, both small and national, there are plenty of residents in the area that enjoy and appreciate what we do.
In Orland Park, there's the recreation department has a wide variety of different activities that covers everything from toddlers through youth, teen, all the way up to seniors. They have all different kinds of activities that you can get involved in. Most of them are local. Some of them are traveling. They have ski trips. Any sport that you can think of, it's available out here for the youth. And there are also adult leagues that you can join.
We've taken advantage of quite a few of the recreation with 4 kids. We've done swimming, we've done baseball, we've done a variety of activities at the Sportsplex. We've taken classes. My husband belongs to the Sportsplex Fitness Center, and it's an overabundance of options that they give you. If you can't find something to do in this recreation department, then you're not going to find anything to do anywhere.
We do have 3 children, varying ages, and they have been involved in different programs. I know that the recreation programs they've been involved with, they've all loved.
I've been an assistant coach with OIA, the Orland Youth Association. My boys have been involved in baseball, swimming, soccer. There are programs that I didn't even know existed until I started paying more attention to the brochure the village sends us, but fencing, all kinds of crafts, martial arts. But the park system and the recreation department have done a phenomenal job really bringing a wide range of activities to kids and adults. There's programs for seniors, there's programs all the way down to toddlers. I think there's a great variety of programs that are available. Being involved in all the organizations I've been in, it's awesome when you see certain people that have benefited from that. For example, when we sell the Christmas trees for the Lions Club, we'll get people. We had a mystery shopper every year that would drop a $1,000 check, sometimes a $5,000 check, in our overnight box. And we found out years later that it was someone that we had helped when they were down on their luck, and they did well and became very successful. And so every year they just throw an anonymous check. Well, we caught him once doing that. And so he told us that was because we had helped them. Likewise, when I work Special Kids Day at Orland Days, we bring in about 2,000 handicapped children. We let them have a free day of carnival rides and food, and we bring out Benny the Bull and Jeffrey the Giraffe and all those characters, and just to see the joy on the kids' faces at that event makes me remember why I spent all that time volunteering, because it's very rewarding.
And as far as sense of community in Orland Park, we've experienced such a nice, welcoming feeling. A neighbor of ours was born with spina bifida, and when he passed away, it really affected the community, and they dedicated a park in his memory and just redid that park 20 years after he passed away. And I just think that really shows how important the people in Orland Park are to the community.
You know, personal experience that gives it the sense of community is I've been coaching going on 9 years now with the Orland Park Pioneers. I'm on the Orland Park board of directors, and I've been a coach, and we've been to the Super Bowl 3 years in a row. But here, what we're really culminated in a sense of community was 2 years ago we won the Super Bowl, and the mayor invited us to a village meeting, and he gave each player a certificate and recognized and shook each player's hand at a village board meeting. And the parents you could just see their pride bursting as they sat in the audience, and the mayor shaking hands with their 8th grade son. And it's something that I won't forget.
Well, back when our oldest daughter is 14, and when she was, I think, 4, we participated in a gymnastics class with her. And there are still 2 or 3 moms that I don't know very well, but I see frequently, and this has been 10 years ago, and we still say hi, we still inquire, about each other's children. And that just, to me, is very nice, because again, it's not an interaction that was in depth, but it was enough sitting in the hallway waiting for our girls to finish, just to strike up a conversation and really to kind of carry over that very casual friendship, 10 years later.
Another great example of community in Orland Park is the Orland Park Theater Troupe. They put on productions, I think, 2 or 3 times a year, and the great thing is they offer it to anybody in the community and outside the community too. But currently my two daughters, who are 7 years old, are in the production Annie, and it's a great opportunity for two little girls who are really into dancing and singing and acting up for their family to see if they really want to do it in front of an audience. So it's a great opportunity for them. They get to know other people in the community, and they get to perform in front of our community, and it just gives them a great sense at a young age of what it means to be part of such a fabulous place to live.
Within the community, my kids love coming to skate in the wintertime, ice skate. And our neighborhood, we have block parties, and all the kids get together and play all the time after school and during the summer months. And there's always things going on for us to do whenever we go to any of the local businesses or restaurants. We feel right at home, like we're part of the family wherever we go.
And over these years, I've dressed mothers that are bringing back their daughters for prom, and mothers that I've done their weddings that they're bringing in their daughters that I'm doing their wedding now. So it's generation after generation. So it's been a great experience to see all the different generations come by. Well, when I first opened, I was asked to do a show, and I hadn't done any yet. I had just opened the store probably a month. And I was approached if I would open up the store as a fundraiser to help move the little red schoolhouse that is now the Chamber of Commerce office. So I said yes to that, and we closed down Red Lobster that day. We had our first show there, and it was a very, very, very big success. So that started our shows, and then I had joined the Chamber of Commerce and the Cancer Foundation and the Heart Association, and I started to do shows for all the benefits for all of them to raise money.
We have the Cub Scouts. Every year we host here at Joe Rizza Ford. It's the beginning of each year. And we clear out on a Sunday, we clear out the showroom and put up the racetrack, and they have their Pinewood Derby here at the dealership. And so we're using the business, but to bring in the community, and it's a great feeling to see everybody here. They love to come out, and they go in the back in the service. They see everything at the dealership, but it's their community. They're not going off to Matson, or they're not going to Chicago for this. They're doing this in Orland Park.
I'm involved in the Chamber of Commerce. I'm currently the secretary, and in my connections with the Chamber, I was introduced to Pat Gira, who's one of our village trustees, and she presented me an opportunity to help decorate the Civic Center. There's not a lot of traffic to that particular building, and we'd like to do something about that. And so Pat asked if I couldn't put my decorating skills to work to do that. But what I liked about that was not only did she approach me, but she approached a number of other business owners, and we collaborated to create an event. So it shows the way the community kind of comes together.
I think it's a wonderful place to live. I feel very safe in Orland Park. I think there's something for everyone as far as, opportunities for friends, for activities, for coming together and social. I just think it's a wonderful place for all ages.
Overall place for Orland to live. It's very convenient to get to downtown or to get on the expressways to travel to other parts, and the community itself is very good. Tons of restaurants, tons of retail stores to choose from, and lots to do in the area.
We love it here. I mean, we live in the old section, or near the old section of Orland, and there's just a real nice sense of community. I love the neighborhood. We live in the same neighborhood as the mayor and one or two of the trustees, so we see them. It's nice to wave to some of our elected officials at the bus stop. We enjoy the pool. We enjoy the rec programs we've been involved in. The kids love being at the library. We really enjoyed some of the concert series. Those are more recent things. But even here, when we were here without children, just being able to go out to dinner, going to the mall, the walking paths, it's been a great environment for us. In terms of our personal longevity, we joke with our children that we're never moving. And I don't intend to. My husband comes from a family, lived in their home for 48, 50 years. We have no intention of leaving the Orland area.
The school system is spectacular. The village services are unmatched. It's a safe community. There's pretty much every resource available to you within a very short distance, if not in the village itself. So I would recommend it highly. In fact, people call me all the time, and I always try and encourage them, kind of like the welcome wagon for Orland Park.
I love the fact that it's got that big city feel, but with a small town heart. We have a wonderful downtown. I mean, you've got all the shopping and stores and restaurants that you can imagine. But in 2 seconds, you're on bike paths and walking paths, and there's trees everywhere. But it's just, it has that rural feel, but yet you have all of the services and advantages of living in any downtown. But in terms of a place to live and to work, I can't imagine anywhere else. It took us a long time to find Orland Park, but once we did, you feel instantly at home. From the mayor down, as I said, to the postal carrier, everyone is concerned about making your experience here amazing. If you just get involved and take a part in it, it makes you feel very much at home from kind of the first day you get here. I think I could describe Orland Park in 3 words: community, collaboration, and connection.
The 3 words I would use for Orland Park are community, citizenship, and involvement.
My 3 words to describe Orland Park would be community-based, friendly, and playful.
Community, safe, and fun.
The 3 words that I would use to describe Orland Park, I would say, is loyalty, the friendship, and the growth in this area.
Families, fun, and safety.
3 words that I would use to describe Orland Park would be community, friends, and memories.
Orland Park is welcoming, it's fun, and it's safe.
The 3 words that I would use to describe Orland Park would be it's a community area that is full of lots of opportunities for all age groups, and everywhere you go, people make you feel welcome.
We are Orland Park.
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 We are Orland Park.